how I'm going to see the slides. Hello and welcome. You can't see my head properly because it's all chopped off. We are here today for the wardrobe decluttering, and I'm glad that you are here. And whether you're joining us live or whether you are joining us watching this on YouTube, because we are, it is being recorded today. And very glad to have you here. Now, I really have no idea how I'm going to be able to see that without, maybe I'm going to have to try one more time to drag it over onto my screen so I can see it, but you might lose it. Have you lost the slides now?
Yes, yes, Julie.
Yes, Julie.
This is annoying me. I'm so sorry, everybody.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah, I know what. I don't know why it is happening. Maybe if, let me, I'm just going to minimize it for a second. I'm going to go back to one screen. Let's go to just the laptop screen. Where's I'm going to, how can I just go? Multiple slides. I don't show only on one. Yes, this might work. All right, let's go again. Now I'm going to have to open it up again. Thank you again, everybody, for getting us sorted here. Let's go wardrobe. Right. Let me go stop share. And I'm going to share again. And we're going to go here. Right, can you see that now?
It's still loading.
Loading.
Hey.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you again. Welcome, everyone. Wardrobe decluttering. Great for you to be here. I didn't see who else came in the room. I think we've got quite a few today. Let me have a look. Some new people that joined me yesterday. Glad to see you again here today. And Philippa, hello. Haven't seen you for a while. Awesome to see your happy, smiling, laughing face. But looking to hear from you during the session, everybody, if you have something to contribute as we're going along. So we are talking about decluttering our wardrobe today, and really looking forward to, as I said, your participation in this. And our business space and time is all about making conscious choices with how we use our space and our time. So it's just not going about our busy lives willy-nilly. We want to try and have some strategy, some conscious choices about how we use our space and time. And of course, my business is called Space and Time because we help people organize both their space and their time. Just interested, let's use the chat as well today. If you would like, I can take yourself off mute and call out, or you can use the chat, introduce yourself. What are you looking forward to learning? And where are you joining us from today? Thank you, Pat. Pat has already introduced themselves. They are from Melbourne, but in Florida. Is that all right? From Melbourne, Florida?
So just the wrong Melbourne.
Really? I did not know. Pat, awesome. Great to have you here. Thanks so much. And,
thank you, Julie.
My amazing assistant is joining us from the Philippines, as she does, and looks after us all the time. Thank you very much. Let's keep moving because I've wasted so much time of ours today. Here I am. I'm a declutter coach and a professional organizer. So my day job is helping people in their homes declutter and get organized. And I call myself a declutter coach when I'm online running these sessions. So more that I'm, coaching you guys with the skills so you can go off and do your own decluttering. Been doing this for the past 9 years. The business just celebrated a birthday recently. And I run a team of 7 professional organisers here in Melbourne and Geelong, and married with 2 sons. So here is the space and time organising system that we are going to go through today. Don't forget to introduce yourself in the chat if you haven't done so already. Where are you joining us from and what would you like to learn today? Space and time organising system, these 6 steps we are going to go through. Stop the stuff, your commitment to being organised, sort the stuff, things you no longer need, which is the decluttering step, and also easy storage and then maintenance. So let's get stuck in. So what is the big deal of having too much stuff and too many things in your wardrobe? We want to have a think about how can we stop the stuff from coming in. Having too much stuff means you can't find things, it's frustrating, it's overwhelming, you rebuy things. And sometimes, you open your wardrobe and you just haven't got anything to wear, even though it's absolutely full of things. Maybe there might be tags still on the items, things that you wore when you were 15, and there's no chance that anyone's ever going to get back down to that tiny size that you were at that age to be able to get back into it. So we just haven't got the space for the items that we actually do wear because it's being crammed with too many things. And it really can be frustrating and overwhelming when you open up your wardrobe and find that you just haven't got anything to wear. So what we want to do when we're looking at stopping more stuff from coming in is having a good think about what we have, and maybe being very mindful of that when we go to the shops. So you could take a bit of a stock, you can write it down, or there are many apps available that you can keep track of your clothes. I would say that you want to keep track of the clothes that you wear, probably not so much the stuff that you don't wear. Although the second point there, shop your wardrobe, suggests that you could try a new combination of clothes that you haven't worn before. So in this first step here, we're trying to stop more stuff from accumulating in your wardrobe, stop it from coming into the home and stop it from cramming up your wardrobe. So these couple of ideas of knowing what you've got and also trying new combinations can be really helpful. And then you might come up with some new ways to wear your clothes. There might be some things that do fit, but they're right at the back of the wardrobe. So you can have a whole new combination, a whole different way of wearing your clothes by adding some accessories, or, as I say, wearing a different shirt with a different pair of pants or skirt that you've never worn before. And that way you've got a whole new wardrobe without even buying any more things. So we're not bringing more stuff in. Because this first step is very important when we're talking about decluttering, because if we've still got more stuff from coming in the home in the first place, it's really hard to tackle the backlog, and it's really hard to make any progress of getting organized if there's still more things coming in. So we'll talk more about that on these next couple of points here. The third point there says resist the sales. So, and I gave the example yesterday in the workshop when I presented at the Clayton Library, and I said, don't buy something, whether it's something to go in your wardrobe or anything in the household, if it's on sale, if you wouldn't buy it if it was at full price. So you could ask yourself that question. Would I still buy it if it was full price? And if the answer is no, I probably wouldn't buy it if it was on full price, well, that is a good indication that you probably don't really need the item. So don't be fooled and coerced by those clever marketers and those clever salespeople that are, buy one jacket, get one half price. Leave it there. Just buy the one. You probably don't need to. We really want to stop more unnecessary clothing from coming into our wardrobes. The fourth point there says only purchase clothes that you try on in person. I hear so many stories from my clients of buying things online and they get them at home and they just don't fit. Some of them are very good at returning things. The returns policies are often very good with these places where you're buying them online, but it's still sometimes a bit of an effort. You still need to put it back in the bag. You might need a return slip stuck on it and go to the post box. So sometimes that's a little bit too difficult and it ends up just sitting around your home waiting to be returned but never is. So the best way to do that is to only purchase clothes that you try on in person and make sure that it does fit, looks good on you, you feel comfortable in it, and it's going to be something that you grab and want to wear in your wardrobe. And if you are going out shopping, to reduce the chance of bringing home something that you don't need, make a list. Anytime you're going out shopping, whether it's groceries or going to Bunnings or whatever major department store you're going to, write down a list. In this circumstance, we're talking about clothes. Write down what you do need and stick to it. Be disciplined and helping you reduce the amount of things that are in your wardrobe. Also says there another way to stop more stuff from coming into the home in the first place is to resist the aimless scrolling through online shopping. I would unsubscribe to any of the Instagram or Facebook feeds that are too tempting for you. If oh, that looks very nice, and you end up, down the rabbit hole and buying more things that you don't need, just unsubscribe from them, whether it's the social media or in your inbox, in your email. Unsubscribe from them because they are cheeky. Some of these retailers will be emailing you 2, 3, and 4 times a day, cramming up your inbox in your email and just tempting you. But we want to stop more unnecessary stuff from coming in our wardrobe. How about the idea as well, if you've got a special occasion coming up, that you could either borrow or hire the outfit rather than buying it. I think that could be a great way of reducing more things coming into your wardrobe. And often with a special occasion, whether it's a wedding or a special event, end of year event that you're going to, Christmas, whatever holidays, you might only wear it once because it's such a special thing. So hiring or borrowing is a great way to reduce more things cluttering up your wardrobe that you're possibly not going to wear again. What other suggestions have any of you got for stopping more stuff? Have you got some golden rules that you use for, trying to reduce the amount of stuff coming into your house? We'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm just going to have a look at the chat before we move on to the next step. Thank you, Philippa. She says, needing to update my thinking about decluttering. I love it. Pat says, need some motivation tactics and learn more about the process. Also interested in the psychology of why we want to hang on to things. That is a very good question. And yes, Philippa is in Geelong. And Manu says, have too many clothes, shoes, handbags, and don't have the space because they live in an apartment. Want to have a system where we can go to the office and have a neat, get dressed quickly, and they have been to many of my workshops before. This is the first wardrobe one. Thanks, Manu. Appreciate that. Jill says, always been an op shopper. For some years, I've used this idea. And they like the idea of would I buy it at a higher place? Yes, Jill. Op shops can be very cheeky like that, can't they? Because it's only a few dollars. So I think that idea of would you buy it if it was a full price is a great one. And also, don't forget to take it back to the op shop. If it's not working, I've done that on a number of occasions. Just take it back, bring it home. It's not working for whatever reason, take it straight back. Do it as quick as you can so it's not just keeping space in your wardrobe. Philippa also says, keep in mind what suits my body and shape. Yes, not just because it's in fashion. That's so true, Philippa. There's so many styles that work for us. Might not be the latest fashion, but that's so important to be able to take that into consideration when we're buying more clothes. Thanks, everybody, for that. So that's the first step of stopping more stuff. And now that we have got that idea in our mind of stopping more things, use it going forwards and just keep reminding yourself of it. And as I said, that brings us to the second step. Now we've got less coming in, we've got more of a chance now of doing the next pieces, which are going to lead up to the decluttering. We will get to decluttering, but we've still got a few mindset sort of changes to make before we do the actual decluttering. And that's a very important one, which is your commitment to being organized. There is no magic wand. I said to the group that I was with yesterday, sorry, I haven't invented it. There is no such thing as you just click your fingers and everything becomes organized. Organized people are that way because of their habits and their routines, and just the fact that they are committed to being organized, and they put being organized in their day. So I would really like to encourage you to make time in your diary to get started on just one small area. And again, we are talking wardrobes today, so that's a great place to start. But it could be just your underwear, something that's simple, something that's not too many sentimental attachments. So it might be your undies, it might be your socks, it could be your belts or your necklaces. Again, something that's not sentimental. If some of those things bring up too many emotions for you, try a different category. But we are looking at just starting on one small area. We're going to be committed to starting our decluttering journey, and just something very small, one shelf, one drawer, one little hidey hole, one tub of handbags, one shoe rack. That could be the one place that we're going to start after our session today. And as I said, I want you to put it in your diary, and I want you to be able to make that commitment that you are going to get started. And we can also write it on a card. I've got the card here somewhere. Where's my little card? As to why, here it is. I can find what I want in 30 seconds or less. So you want to remind yourself, what is your goal? So I want to, as I think it was Manu was saying before, they want to get ready for work really quickly, easily, looking good, looking smart, confident, and that's the goal. Write it on a goal to remind yourself when you're getting a little bit stuck in the weeds, what your goal is that you're trying to do. Or it might be, I want to get into exercise, so I know where my goal is, to know exactly where my workout gear is, so I can grab it and be dressed and out the door to go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. Something like that. Give yourself a nice goal that you can work with. It's almost like a project. Or I'm trying to think, what else might you want to get dressed for? Going to a sports game, going to work, going to a party. Come up with something that you are working towards and make some time, put it in the diary to work towards that goal. If it's not in the diary, you're not very committed to it. It literally, your decluttering and organizing time needs to be in the diary, and keep that appointment with yourself just as you would with any other appointment. So we always we want to have a bit of a think about how we do things as well. As I said, organized people are that way because they are committed to it and they do organizing type things day to day. So let's have a think about how we can change things to be more organized, or maybe you might like to go back to a habit of something that you used to do. I often have clients say to me, oh yeah, when I worked full time, I used to do this, this and this, and it worked really well for me. So we'll go, oh, can we modify that slightly? Can we change your wardrobe? You might not be wearing the exact same outfit that you wear for work now that you've got a couple of kids and you're working part-time. But can we go back to those good organizing bones that you had before? Can we change it a little bit to be able to get the same results and that can show your commitment to being organized? Now, I just want these small little habit changes. As I said, going back to something that used to work for you, or we could try something brand new as in terms of getting yourself organized in your wardrobe. But it might be just a small little tweak, something a little bit different. As I said, have said a couple of times, we start doing what organized people do, and that might be something as small as hanging up your clothes every night as soon as you change out of them to put on your pajamas. So you decide what needs to be washed, put that in the wash basket, decide what just needs to be aired, and you could just hang it back in the wardrobe, or you might have a special place in your wardrobe for the items that are airing. They have only been worn for a few hours but don't need to be washed just yet. Put your jewellery away, put your shoes away neatly, put your bag away neatly. Anything or organising and clothes related, start doing it now, because that's going to stop the clutter from building up, and it's going to start you doing what organised people do. And just wondering, are you organised and willing to make the changes that you need to do? Wondering which day of the week, which day are you going to start? Are you going to do something as soon as we finish up today? Pop it in the chat, make a bit of a commitment to us, and maybe you could even check in with me next week and let me know if you've done it. Will you do 5 minutes? Will you do 10 minutes? Will you do half an hour in your wardrobe? What are you going to start with? Have a look at the belts, have a look at your stockings, have a look at your shoes that you used to wear to work but not wearing anymore. And we can talk about some donation options for those as well. But again, we are starting to do small things towards some big results. So the next step we are moving on to, step 3 of the space and time organizing system, is sort the stuff. And that is where we can start to get a bit of an idea of what we have, a little more organized, so that after this step, we will start deciding what stays and what lets go. So rather than just have this big pile of clothes that we had on the previous page, my little mousey gone, rather than just things falling out of the wardrobe everywhere, we want to start to put like items together. We want to look at putting different categories together. You don't have to get it all out of your wardrobe. You could be sorting the hanging things. Just put all your black pants together, all your white shirts together, have all your folded t-shirts on one shelf or in a drawer. We just want to start to get like items together, because our brain likes the order. You know, as I just said before, this picture here on this screen looks so neat, just with the little items carefully folded, and this is only one outfit, but you could continue putting these like items together just to be able to give your brain a little bit of a rest and a little bit of order so that it can start processing. So the sorting really does help you find what you have, and also allows a little bit of processing in your mind to go. As I said, you could either be hanging things in your wardrobe and sorting them, or you could use your bed and lie things out. Or I do have a couple of freestanding clothes rails that I take along to clients, and you can get them very cheaply at IKEA or some of the big brands. Or you could ask a friend if they have a freestanding clothes rail, just to give yourself a little bit more space. You could take some things, hanging things out of your wardrobe and hang them in categories on your clothes rail. And when I've done this particular workshop in person, I've taken my favorite outfits. It was when I was only doing part-time organizing. So I had my uniform, which I wear every day now, but I was still working in an office. And I think all the things that I wore, pants, shirts, shoes, there was only something like 36 pieces that I would wear all the time. And it fits so neat and so beautiful on the clothes rail that I took it all in the car and took it to show people this sort of capsule wardrobe that I would wear all the time. Things were interchangeable, they went together. You could have winter and summer as well in that with different layers. We always need lots of layers here in Melbourne. It's the weather is all over the shop sometimes. So if you are going to tackle your wardrobe, as I said, ask someone if they have a free standing clothes rail, because it can be really helpful just to give you a bit of room and a bit of breathing space as we're sorting these categories. And as that second last point there says, a small collection will be easier to handle. So if you've got things sort of chunked down, let's just look at the jackets first, or let's just put the jeans on the clothes rail. It'll be easier to process. And you can also sort by season as well. Just let's do the summer stuff at the moment, or let's do the winter things. Again, we're just trying to break this process down a bit. We're trying to allow our brains to be able to see what we have, because again, it would be very difficult if you wanted to just decide, oh, what am I going to keep and what am I going to let go from this pile here? And it's much easier if we start to sort it out a little bit. So which category will you start with in your wardrobe? What do you think will be less sentimental? Do you think you might start with pants or shorts or shirts? Which category will you start to look at? If you've ever read or followed the Marie Kondo method, she says to get all of your clothes from everywhere in the whole house and put them on your bed. I think that sounds like disaster. I would never say to anybody to do that unless you've got an expert standing beside you and you don't want to sleep for the next 3 weeks because you won't be able to get to your bed. I would start with tiny categories and let's sort first, and then we're going to move on to the next step in a second. Let's have a look at the chat quickly. Oh, good. Manu says this is exactly what I needed, a capsule wardrobe so I can access key pieces of weekly office wardrobe items and then pack them away neatly. Going to start this evening after work. Good on you. I'm absolutely thrilled. That sounds excellent. Pat says start with socks and underwear. I think that's a great place. Nice and easy. Just sort them out. See how many pairs of black socks you've got. See how many socks with holes, those sorts of things. And we're going to move on to the next step now. But thank you for your input there. Let's get into the decluttering. So as I've just said before, we have done a lot of groundwork to get to now. We've stopped more things from coming in. We made a commitment. Yes, we are going to be, we're going to start and we're going to do 10 minutes on Thursday, whatever your commitment is. Then we started the sorting, and now we're actually up to the letting go part, because we've got our brain ordered and orderly with the sorting. We can start to decide what we can let go. And a really good one to let go is duplicates. So if we've got 15 black t-shirts, well, that may be for a reason. I've got 5 of these work shirts, and I'm not letting any of them go. But if you have duplicate items that you are not using, that is probably a good thing to start with. Whether it's t-shirts or 15 pairs of black jeans or whatever it might be, duplicate items are a good place to start. And don't forget, where's your little card that you've got? Remember what you're trying to achieve. It's disappearing. Remember what you're trying to achieve, whether it's to get ready for work in 5 minutes or less. Keep this card when you're going through the decluttering step. And just be aware of the excuses, you know, oh, it cost me a lot of money. I had to work for 5 weekends without going out with my friends so I could afford to buy this dress. It's like, well, yeah, that is the case, but you're not going to recoup the money by that dress continuing to hang in your wardrobe. Yes, it might have been expensive, but you could try and sell it and get a little bit of money for it, or you could let it go and let somebody else enjoy it. So just be aware of those excuses, like it costs a lot of money, or it still has the tags on it, and you're feeling bad because you never wore it. But if it has its tags on it, that's in perfect condition to be able to sell or to be able to give away, so that it has its own life and a new life. So there are a few excuses. It was a gift is another one. If it was a gift, if somebody gave you a shirt or a hat or a bag or something and you don't like it, well, you are entitled to be able to let it go. It's yours. The person gave it to you. They would not have expected you to keep it forever. It is yours. So just be careful of those excuses. You know, it costs a lot of money, or it was a gift. Some of those tricky ones, just beware of those excuses. And as we've just said before, these categories sorted are going to be much easier to work through rather than just that big pile of clothes. The second last point there says sell or donate unused clothes, which I just gave that example. Could be a great way to get them out of your wardrobe, stop you from feeling low about the money that you spent but never wore. But you could also be thinking about different ways of wearing that. Maybe you won't get rid of it. Maybe you haven't worn it, but maybe there's a slightly different way you can wear it and keep it. This is a funny thing to say when we're in the decluttering step, but we can rethink these things sometimes if you do decide you want to keep the item. All the way through this and any of the workshops that I give, I say that I'm not expecting everybody to be minimalists. I'm not expecting people to just live in a white box with nothing. It's talking about letting things go that you no longer need. They may have meant a lot to you in the past. It might have been a beautiful work suit that you wore, but you just don't get dressed up in a suit anymore because you live in Queensland where it's hot and you would just, you would catch on fire because you'd be too hot. So just think about something that's been good for you in the past, might not necessarily be good for you and serve you now. So these are things you no longer need. And also the idea of giving yourself limits and boundaries as to how much you keep is a great way to help you let things go. So you might just say, I'm going to only have 16 pairs of shoes. It might seem like a lot, but it's not if you're talking about all categories. But you might say, I'm just going to have 8 belts. I'm just going to have the amount of underwear that fits in this top drawer. I'm only going to have enough workout clothes for the 5 days of the week that I go to the gym. So you might have 5 outfits for. You might have 5 outfits that you have to go to the gym. So set yourself some limits as to how much you'll keep. Will help you decide what you can let go. So in this prime real estate, this valuable real estate in your wardrobe, only the best can stay. Let's pretend that everything is going to go and the items need to be just right to be able to take up that valuable space in your wardrobe. Let's have a look at things you no longer need a little bit further and practice our decision making, because sometimes decision making is what holds us up. We can't decide, are we going to keep it or are we going to let go? Or, oh, I'm worried about making the wrong decision. Practice making decisions outside of decluttering to help you when you come to the decluttering time. So it might be decide in 2 minutes what you're going to wear. So there's no ums and ahs. You put the timer on and you go. You just grab an outfit and you back yourself. You back yourself with that outfit that you're going to wear. and practice decision making. Also, another practicing of decision making is when you go to a restaurant, you can say, okay, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to choose. I'm not going to and I'm going to choose something to eat, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to look around at everybody else and wish I had somebody else's meal. We're practicing our decision making so that when we get in the weeds a little bit with our decluttering, these little decisions will help us make the bigger decisions. So practice making decisions, backing yourself, and giving yourself a pat on the back when you make these decisions as we're going along. Oh, here's some more excuses. I've forgotten that we had them here. So we mentioned the one before that I've never worn it. So that is an excuse, and here are some ways that we can get around it. As I said, it's in perfect condition to donate. Some people might think that the excuse that a clutter-free home would be boring, and they don't want to let things go because of that reason. And I just talked about that as well. I'm not saying that you can't have anything. I'm just saying let's let go of the things you no longer need. Please surround yourself with the things that you love, that fit your figure, that make you happy when you look in your wardrobe. I've got quite a few things that I do wear regularly for special occasions, and I love looking at them. So that makes me happy. So please do surround yourself with things, but I want them to be things you are using right now. I'm not talking about things from the past. I'm talking about what's going to make your life better now. What's going to help make life outside your home better as well. Another excuse might be, I need to get organized. Some clients will call me, or a prospective client will say, I need to get organized. But they actually need to declutter. There's just too many things to get organized. Wouldn't matter if you had, 3 homes to put the stuff in and 1,000 tubs, there would still be too much stuff. So it's not actually getting organized they need to do first, it's the decluttering that we do first. And of course, they're overwhelmed and don't know where to start. So we've given you a few ideas today too, and you've given us some examples as well. Pat said they're going to start with the socks. Manu's going to have a go at putting together a capsule wardrobe. So small collection of work things and anything that's not going to sit inside that for now. That's just what they're going to focus on. So a really great way to look. All right, looking at, Kay says, struggle with sentimental items, brings back great memories. That's a good one, Kay. Letting go of sentimental items is tricky. We can do some things like some journaling or take some photos of the item. Again, you don't have to let go of the item if you still have room for it, but it's lovely to be able to look back at things like this, but they sort of keep you anchored to the past. Sometimes these sentimental items are sort of dragging us down. They're making us feel emotions other than moving forward. So just be a little bit careful with those sentimental items, that they're not holding you back. We want to look forward. We want our forward life. We want to create some more amazing memories. Those sentimental items might be a part of it, but maybe letting go might free up the space for something else. As I said, with the sentimental items, you can take a photo of it to remind you of it. You can take a video, you could journal about it, you could repurpose it. There might be many other ways you can honor those feelings. And if you let the item go, you're not going to forget about it. It'll still be in your heart. You'll still remember it, still have those great times. But don't be tricked by the past sentimentality, because we are really looking forward to the present and the future and how we can improve our lives. Anybody else got some other ideas about sentimental items and how they work with them? Jill says, I find I need to take small amounts to the op shops as I go and not wait until you've completed the job. Otherwise, you reconsider. I love that idea, Jill. You might do half an hour of decluttering and go, oh, good. Yep. Okay. I've got half a bag. Let's just go and drop it off now. And maybe just drop it out the front if you can and not go into the op shop and be tempted some more. But I think it would be great if you decluttering and dropping things to the op shop as you go. That's great. All right, let's keep going down here. No problem. Someone's just joined that late. That's no problem. Glad to have been counting items too, and that has helped me down to 30 pairs of shoes. Still too many. I like that, Lynn. Thank you for sharing. So that's about those boundaries. How many pairs of shoes will you keep? How many pairs of undies do you need? How many pairs of bras? You can sort of sort out your week and have a think about how often you do the laundry. You know, we need a lot less clothes than we actually need. All right, Lynn says with sentimental items, I'm going to make something with Mum's costume, Julie, like a montage in a frame. I love that idea. Repurposing and just coming up with something new for that from those items. Awesome. Pat says way too many golf shirts for sure and need to pass the sentimental value issue. Yeah, any thoughts on that, Pat, since we've been talking about it, how to get past that? Would you take a photo of it? Would you chop it up and make a quilt or something out of the golf shirts? Would you just keep 3 or 4 of them? What's your thoughts so far? Let me know.
You know, Sally, my daughter did this thing like a t-shirt blanket. She had all these t-shirts and you can make like a blanket out of it.
Oh,
Why can't I do that with golf shirts? I only want the logo.
Yeah,
right?
perfect. That would look great. I think that's a nice way. And I've certainly seen that with kids clothes and kids blankets and things like that, as you're suggesting. Chop them up into pieces and make a blanket or a throw or a cushion that you can actually use now, and you've still got the items. All right, let's keep moving to easy storage. We better hurry up. We've only got 12 minutes. 12 minutes for easy storage. Now, step 5, easy storage is deliberately here in this order because I have often seen clients with too many organizing items, not so much in the wardrobe, but it can still be a problem with special coat hangers that have 5 that flip down or different ways of organizing things. I always like to keep things nice and simple. But if we're doing a pantry, for example, sometimes I spend time organizing the containers that they have had in the pantry over the years. And that's exactly why easy storage is right now. So if we've done some decluttering, we know we only have 30 pairs of shoes now. Good work, Lynn. Then we can just get a shoe rack to fit those 30 shoes, or have a couple of different places or a couple of boxes for them. We didn't go out at the start and decide, buy all of these things to help us. Now we know what we're keeping, and we're going to start to put them in their permanent homes and know where we want to put them. This is the perfect time to get that right storage stuff. So yes, we can have nice baskets and matching things, but it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it works for you. When we're talking about clothing, we can think about easy storage. Are you going to hang it? Are you going to fold it? Are you going to roll it? Will you consistently roll it? Now, some of my clients, they love rolling stuff. They love the Marie Kondo folding and storing things upright as well. But if that's not for you, and you're not, if you're not going to slow down and take the time to do that every time, don't even try it. Just get a basket, throw your undies in it, or however you want to sort of contain your items. And of course, consider your physical strength and your mobility as well. Many of the clients that we work with have disabilities, so organising their wardrobe, we need to think about that. We need to think about where things are kept in the wardrobe or in the cupboards. We can't use, often can't use things too low down or too far up, or can't be too heavy. So consider those things as well as you're getting yourself sorted out. And it's got to be easy. Because if it's not easy, you won't do it. Like we were saying before, when you're changing out of your work clothes at the end of the day to get your pajamas on, whatever that system is then needs to be easy. I know where I'm going to hang things. You have those things all sorted out. I know where my pajamas are that I'm going to put on. I know where the clothes basket is to put the dirty laundry. So we've got these little systems, these storage systems set up so that we can do it nice and easily. Because even I know myself, if it's not easy, I won't do it. You just stuff it on top of the chair that's beside your bed or something like that, and it doesn't get put away as it should do. And of course, consider out of season storage as well. If you've only got a relatively small space in, you have the luxury of being able to change your wardrobe with the seasons. Have a think about that as well. Have you got some nice spaces that you can put your out of season clothes, whether it's in the top of the wardrobe or under the bed, somewhere that you're not accessing very often, for those items that you don't need very often. But as that last point there says, unless you have a really tiny home, you probably won't need too many storage solutions. I'm going to give you some examples at the moment. But as I said, the least amount of things that you have, then it makes it easier to be organized. Rather than having to stuff things in a bag or a basket, if we just have less, then it's much easier to organize. But here's a few suggestions here. You know, a felt tub, an open top tub. You might just throw your workout gear in there, so you know that your tops and bottoms and jackets that you do your workout gear in goes in that felt tub, that number one. Or you might use the number two, which is that plastic tub. That might be something that you could use for out of season items. Put it under your bed or in the top of the wardrobe, or even in another room, or in the garage. But again, making sure it's nice and secure and little things aren't getting in there and having a nibble might be something helpful. Number three could be used under bed. Could be under bed as well. And then there's some other hanging items. Number four might just be, it actually hangs in the wardrobe, that number four, but then you put folded items on those little compartments. I've also seen shoes put in those little hangers. I think my kids would probably quite like that hanging, so they can still see it, it's open, and you can see the items that are on that hanging rack. And number five is just a more shallow tub that would probably fit under your bed quite easily. Again, out of season, things that you're not wearing very often. And yeah, bits and pieces. I'm just thinking under my bed, I've got those sorts of things, but it's got bedding in it, so that's not relevant to wardrobes. Number six is a laundry hamper, so that you've got somewhere in your, wherever you take your clothes off is where your laundry hamper should be. If it's in your walk-in robe, that's where you get undressed. That's where your laundry hamper should be. So there's more of an opportunity for you to actually put them in there. Or whether it's in your bathroom, your ensuite, have a think. You might even have a few laundry hampers, but making sure that you've got one so that it's easy to just deal with what's in your hands, just get it done, put it in a laundry hamper straight away. And then there's some other items, the little coat hanger with the wiggly lines. You could hang scarves on there. You could put, like, as in nice warm scarves or decorative scarves, or a number of pairs of pants. That is quite versatile. You could have a number of things on that rack. Down the bottom, number 8, I think it is a shoe rack. So you might say, I'm only going to keep shoes that fit on this rack. And that would be your boundary, and that would be a nice, easy spot to be able to access the shoes, depending, again, on your mobility. Down low, it might not be easy for you. And then that last item there is a like a velvet coat hanger. A lot of people use them, stop stuff from sliding off, and also they're nice and thin, so you can fit lots in the wardrobe. So there are a million other storage ideas out there, but my thing that I would love you to do first is have a real good go at the decluttering. Let go of clothes you're not wearing. Let go of things that are uncomfortable and itchy and just don't feel right. Let go of things that are broken or spoilt, damaged, and let go of those sentimental items as well that you're not wearing now. So there's less in your wardrobe and less need for any of these special storage items. Yes, hello. How are you, Lynn? You want to say something? No, she might have been talking to the dog. Looking at another couple of different storage ideas. This is just like open shelves. I have a couple of open shelves in my wardrobe. They're just folded items on there. So you don't want the piles too tall to be toppling over, and sometimes it can be difficult to get things out from under a pile. But again, my kids like this idea because they can see. They don't have to open a wardrobe to get into it. They can just see what's there and just grab it nice and easily. So this an open shelf might be something that you could consider in your room as well. And then you can get these dividers that help put your undies and your bras and your cami tops, sort of divide the drawers, extending dividers. I think these ones might have been from Amazon that I found. They just sort of spring open and close so that you can put them in different size drawers. They're quite handy. This one is sort of like the Marie Kondo folding, rolling method. Again, have a go at it if it's going to work for you, but if it's too hard, don't bother. As I said before, some of my clients love this. Others don't want to go anywhere near it. It's just hurts their head too much to even think about it. So that's storage. We've come into our last step, and we've got 2 minutes, I better be quick, is to, now that we've done all this great work, we want to stay organized. We want to use things in our wardrobe, wear them, take them off, put it straight back where it lives, straight back on its coat hanger, straight back in its tub, straight back in its basket, roll it up neatly, put it straight back every single time. And this maintenance will really help you stay organized and stop the clutter from coming back again. Sometimes you just need to give yourself a little bit of time to adjust to these new routines. New habits take a while to form. And you could move it or try something else after a while, but don't just move it for move its sake. Don't just try a different tub because it might work better. I think sometimes we just need to go, yes, this is good enough. This is working. This is keeping my clothes neat and tidy. It's not perfect, but it's working well enough. And I'll stop thinking about that option. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to continue on with that storage solution that I tried. So this step is really about putting those routines into place so that you can get and stay organized. Have a good think about your morning routine. How can you set up your wardrobe in the morning to get you places on time? And then the evening, what's your bedtime routine? Are you starting it early enough? Have you got an alarm to tell you to go to bed early so that you can go on, get ready for bed, do your teeth, hang up your clothes, get your clothes out ready for the next day, and then hop into bed, do some reading, and get to sleep at a good time? So think about these good habits, routines, systems that we can use each and every day to for our maintenance tools. And know yourself as well. When we're doing the decluttering and getting organized, choose a time of day that suits for you and suits your energy levels. I'm an early morning person, so I'll get up and do all sorts of things in the morning, but don't ask me to do anything past about 8:30 because my brain will start to turn off. So know yourself. When is going to be a good decluttering and organizing time for you, and work with that. Please don't do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Even if you are a night owl, we still all do need our sleep. But have a good think. Which time of the day is going to be working for you, and put it in the diary. And then stay committed to being organized. I love this last step. I am writing a book. Some of you may know that. I'm writing a book about the 6 steps of the system, and I think the maintenance step is going to be quite a big chapter, and looking forward to talking about some of those routines and habits that we can use to help us stay organized. So stay tuned for more information about that. So stop more things from coming in the front door in the first place. We spoke about a number of reasons why to do it and how to do it. Get committed to being organized, sort the items, set up, declutter the items, let go of things that you don't want, get the storage sorted out, their permanent homes, and then put it back every time that you've used it. Small wins and keep going. Apologies again that we ran out of time to do some of this a little bit deeper, and that I've wasted time getting set up earlier. We'd love to hear what your favorite tip was today. Pop it in the chat. I'm going to have another look at the chat in a second. Lynn said, found a great bamboo shoe cupboard from Kmart. Has doors so you can't see the messy shoes. Put it in the walk-in robe and love it. Probably going to get another one. Beautiful. I love it, Lynn. Glad to hear it's going well. Jill says, I have a friend who turns a shirt or a blouse inside out on its hanger once worn to keep track of what's clean and what's worn. Helen, that's a great tip. Thanks so much for sharing that. So as I said, hanging things for them to air, Jill's friend turns it inside out so that they know that it has been worn. Excellent. Philippa says, thanks for reminding me to declutter regularly. You're welcome, Philippa. So good to see you here again. And you're welcome, Annie. Thanks for the inspiration. Let's have a very quick look. What do we got coming up? Oh, that was yesterday, our library talk, and we've got another in-person wardrobe coming up. It's not till June, but believe me, it's going to be here very soon. So June the 20th, 7 o'clock if you are in Melbourne, or if you're overseas and want to come and visit at the Mill Park Library. So let us know if you'd like to come along to that. And we are over time, so apologies for that. Thank you for the Mill Park Library details. Mary Lou just popped them in the chat. And Pat, you are welcome, and I'll keep you posted about the book. And thank you all for joining us for Wardrobe Declutter. I'm glad to be able to share some of the tips with you, and look forward to catching up soon. Send me a message if I missed anything and I didn't cover what you wanted to hear today. Let me know. We've had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 people today. Awesome. And let me just have one last look at the chat, because I just saw Manu wrote something else. Manu says, my first task today is to check my wardrobe and declutter first. Thanks, Julie, so much for the session. You are welcome. Make a time to chat if you would like. My email's there. Otherwise, you've got the email. We'll send the recording out this afternoon. Reply back if there was something we didn't cover today. Thanks so much for joining me, and see you all soon. Bye for now. Thanks, Kay. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Manu. Thank you. Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Sophie. Good on you, Philippa. Great to see you.
Thank you, Julie.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you from the other Melbourne.
Pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for the other Melbourne. Excellent. Thanks, Sophie. Thanks, Meryl.
Thank you.
Great to see you all. See you all again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.